This week we're going to be talking about the lunge. So in the previous 2 weeks we've talked about the squat and the push-up, which are both bilateral exercises, meaning you're using both sides of your body at the same time in an equal amount. So when you're doing a push-up, you're using both sides of your body with your arms equally, or with the squat, it's your legs. With the lunge, it's a unilateral exercise, meaning that one leg is going to be working harder than the other. So what does a lunge look like? Well, traditionally when we see a lunge, this is what it looks like in the position at the bottom. There's a couple of different muscles that we're targeting in this position. So we're working our quads, our hamstrings, our glutes, our calves, and our core. We're engaging that core to keep our body upright and in motion. So there's some cues and tips we have to remember when performing the lunge. And the first one I want to talk about is keeping your body upright and straight when you're in the bottom of the lunge position. So what I mean by that is when we're down here, we want to be keeping our torso in a straight line that's perpendicular to the ground. So we don't want to be too far bent forward, and we don't want to be way back here. We want to keep it upright like this. We also want to remember not to trap our knee over our toe when in the bottom of that position. So again, what does that look like? Notice how my knee is in a straight line with my leg going down to the ground. It's not way out here over the toe or way back here. Ideally, we want this leg in a right angle position, so a 90-degree angle to the ground. Another thing to remember is looking at the back leg. You can see how it drops low. When we're in that position, we want to make sure this leg is nice and low like that, but we want to be careful not to slam that knee into the ground. We want to keep it slightly off so that we're still engaging this leg. So I'm going to show you what that looks like put together. If the traditional lunge is too hard and we're not quite there yet, there's a couple of modifications that we can do to make it easier. The most common modification is to not go down as far. So instead of being down in this position, maybe I only go to right here because that's what my body is ready for. From there you can progress getting lower and lower until you get that right angle position. Another thing you can do is use something such as a rig or even a bar to help yourself get down and back up. So if you have to, you can use this to assist you when coming back up out of the lunge. The other thing we can do is, similar to the push-ups video, we can focus on eccentric exercise. So that means the going down phase and then stopping it after that. So instead of pushing back up, we would use our other leg to get back. So what would that look like? So I'm going to slowly go down into the lunge position, and then once I get here, I'm done with the movement because my body's not ready to push back up. So maybe what I do is I just step like that normally. So with the traditional lunge, we have the forward lunge, and we have the reverse lunge. Once you have mastered these, you can work on some harder lunges. We're going to talk about a couple today. So the first one I want to talk about is the split lunge, which you saw in the squat video called the Bulgarian split squat. So again, to refresh your memory, you can grab a bench, stick one leg up, kick this leg out, and go down like this. There's also the curtsy lunge, which when you send this back leg behind you, you're going to swap it over to the other side. So what does that look like? So do it as a reverse lunge, but when you go down, you're going to kick that leg out farther so that it's actually on the left side of your body. And then there's also the jumping lunge, which you've seen us do in our warm-ups, where it looks like you get in this position, and then you're jumping as you're doing it. You can also increase the difficulty of the lunge by adding weights. So the three we're going to utilize today are dumbbells, a medicine ball, and a barbell. So using a dumbbell, you're going to have one in each hand, and you would just do your lunges like this, or you can even have them at shoulder level or overhead. If you wanted to make it even more difficult, you can make the arms a unilateral movement by using only one, and then swapping as you go. When using the medicine ball, again, you can hold it at chest level as you perform the lunge. Or you can hold it overhead. And you can even add it in with a twist. When using the barbell in a lunge movement, there's a couple other options. So you can hold it like you were doing a front squat at chest level. Or you can hold it overhead in a snatch position. You want to be careful with the barbell though, because it's a lot of weight overhead and it's going to create a very unstable environment as you perform the lunge. That's why it's important to keep your core tight and engaged.